Hi again. Okay. So, for those of you who, I guess I'll eventually edit these video halves together so you'll all see it, but, yeah, I just got a very bizarre error. Assert.f something or the other failed. Never seen that error before. Crawl just crashed me back to the most recent load, I guess, and, it looks like... Yeah, okay, so it looks like I just entered this floor, and that's how far back they took me, so I didn't kill the Panlord, and I didn't level up my fighting skill yet, but they didn't just delete my entire game either, which other, roguelikes can do, so I guess I'm happy. So let's just repeat the same basic strategy that won me the fight. As I was, saying before I got interrupted in a most bizarre manner. Oh, kill him. One of the philosophies of the crawl designers is to discourage farming, as it were, or to not reward the player for farming, because ultimately that's to the detriment of the fun of the game, depending on why you play games and what you enjoy. I know. Oh wow, 2 Panlords on 1 floor. I know some people 3 Panlords on 1 floor. Good God, I'm glad I hasted. 4. Okay, I'm really glad I hasted. Yeah, that's gonna kill a lot of my dragons, actually. In fact, let's recall my dragons out of the ice burst for a moment. So, yeah, okay, there's 7 Panlords on this floor. That's just freaky as hell. Like, wow, I'm really, really glad. That's 8. 8 Panlords. Yeah, this is why people say ziggurats are the most dangerous place in the game. Sometimes you get easy shit, sometimes you get 9 Panlords on the same fucking floor. I almost want to know how many exactly it was. If there's a way to tell, like, from a log or whatever, that'd be cool. Because this feels like a record to me. At least, for me, I know it's a record. The most I've ever seen on the same floor is 2. So, this is definitely a record. But yeah. Okay, one of the design philosophies behind Crawl was... Yeah, and sorry, just... This is a great illustration of why this endgame character is massively powerful now. If you can survive this level of Panlords attacking you, what can't you survive? Like, what's left to threaten you in the game? Okay. It's just a matter of getting bad position will kill you, but otherwise, nothing's gonna kill you. Anywho, one of the design philosophies behind Crawl was to discourage farming. And by farming, I mean just repetitively doing the same simple thing in order to gain a marginal advantage. Because it was viewed as, well, people, farming inevitably leads... Oh, yeah, strength gloves. Inevitably makes the game boring because it gets repetitive. Different people are different. Some people enjoy farming. I'm kind of either way on it. I usually dislike it, and then there comes a single game that just makes me love it. So, yeah. Actually, hang on a moment. The Sword of the Tormentor gives me 2 levels of resist fire. It gives me a strength buff, which I no longer need, and a stealth buff, which I don't need. Whereas the Wormbane gives me AC plus 5, which is always nice, and because I have 2 levels of resist fire on my ring, I can maintain max fire resistance this way. So this is technically the better weapon, which is kind of awesome. I'll hang on to them both in case I ever want a strengthier setup, but yeah. So yeah, at this point in the game, I would say that stops being a thing. It's definitely easy at this point to farm, and there's but the way that they make up for it is the whole clear benefits part. It's not really that beneficial to farm. Oh, the Rings of Regeneration don't do anything for me when I'm bloodless. I did not think of that. It's not necessarily very beneficial to farm, because I've already hit as much power as I'm going to need. Sure, I can scum for a specific item or 2 if I feel the need to, but also that cuts into your score because of the amount of time you take to beat the game. I'm not playing for score right now, I'm playing to see how goddamn much I can get through. So, hence part of the reason why I'm continuing in the ziggurat even, when I don't, strictly speaking, need to. I think I'm going to try to go to floor 15 and then I'll quit. Or, if there's any close calls, I'll quit then too. Okay. Buffs are up. I definitely prefer haste to invis. Like, that seems to make sense to me. Oh, but damn it, I should have bloodlessed myself first. Let's do that. Dang, it takes a lot to go bloodless. Okay, you know what? Fine. You get to keep your blood. I don't care. How bad does that hurt me? Yeah, so really the only thing is I'm technically vulnerable to torment. I'll deal with that. Once I start spamming dragon summons again, I'll end up being bloodless pretty fast. So freshen my dragons, that's always important, and make sure that the gold ones are a bit closer to the... There we go. Swift, fly, deflect, regen, haste. Anything else? That should about do it. I guess, actually, control teleport, why not? Because I'm not wearing the ring, and in we go. And let's immediately start the rapid dragon summon. Okay, keep that swiftness up, keep the mana up. Are they invisible or something? Or is this... Oh, this is a huge floor, that's what it is. Backing off, because it's like... This is like L5 in terms of the kind of enemies I'm up against. Which means at least one of them is going to have an abjure. Which means it's helpful to keep a little bit of distance between myself and... You know, I'm talking about all this strategy, and then to the side, they just win the game. Show me that warped cloak. That sounds fancy. How many idents? I have enough scrolls of identify, I can just do this. Magic resist with massive boost to stealth compared to Cloak of Darkness. I'll wear a stealthier cloak, yeah. Because I'm not evoking invisibility anymore in favor of using haste, so there's no need to maintain that. I make it sound at times, because of the way I talk, like this is a clear superior option or inferior option. That's honestly not the case. I'm just winging it at this point. My items are so good that it really doesn't matter what I do for the most part. As long as I don't delete important spells off my repertoire, I'll be fine. Agony actually might not be a bad idea. Is just anybody I would be tempted to use it on, like who would have enough health to make cutting their health in half worthwhile, probably has a different method of ignoring it. Like, you know, they're a demon or whatever, I don't know. Never wear that. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Okay, and... looks like another floor is cleared. 2 more floors to go, and then I run like a scared coward because ziggurats can kill you. Fly, swift, deflect missiles. Fuck it, I'll go with the glow on, that's fine. The glow isn't heavy enough for me to be scared yet. In we go. Oh, and there's no point pre-summoning dragons, I keep forgetting that. Okay. No point pre-summoning dragons. Kill the fucking slimes. If it's a slime volt, that's fine. Slime volts are easy. I don't have my resist corrosion on, I don't believe. Do I? No, I don't. So, play it a little bit safer, but ultimately it's the dragons that are going to get corroded, and they don't really exist, they're just summons, so yeah. You're a dog, you have no soul. You know what? I am going to train up invocations. I feel like I'm going to end up wishing I had eventually, so let's just do that. Drop dodging for now and pick up invocations, and let's focus it so that we get it done faster. I mean, think of it this way. I killed 7 Panlords on 1 floor. That's so much experience that a -3, even at a somewhat high level, like, you know, leveling up from 12 to 16, really isn't that untenable. Okay, in we go, open vault, and just eyeballing it. No, there's too much stuff to eyeball. I have to go in. I'm not even going to look at more weapons because, as it is, I have some really good ones. Ooh, unidentified scrolls. That's bizarre. What possible scroll could I not have identified this late in the game? Yeah, I'm curious. Let's drop the Ring of Regen and Ring of Fire and Ring of Strength and Protect Cold. I can do any of those things with a single ring that does something else fancier. Scroll of Silence. I will actually hang on to that. I can't imagine a scenario in which I, as a dedicated caster, would be happy to have that cast, but I'll hang on to it for that one time where I'm like, well, shit, this is the time. Scrolls of Holy Word are pretty much never a good idea when you're a vampire. There's virtually never a scenario where you want your health cut in half. For non-lethal, you know, without dealing lethal damage to anything else. Alrighty, buffs are back on. No, they're not. Control Telly, just in case it's not a resist Telly Vault. Self-hasting. Down we go. Okay, it is a control teleport inhibited vault. Or floor. So, no point in having control Telly up. I have a dragon army, which is good. So hopefully I can deal with whatever comes next. But I still don't see any enemies. It's a Eunoxinol. These look like summoned enemies, just based on the type, so let's see. Nope, they're not summoned. So, aggressive recall. And the reason I'm backing up right now is just, I mean, honestly, it's instinct. It's not like I've thought this through. I've just played enough of the game that I have an instinct for these things. But I want that first horde of dragons. If they get killed or abjured, I want a second horde of dragons that isn't going to be hit by the same AoE blast. That's why I backed up. Looks like it's a non-issue. It looks like this was a pretty light vault in terms of things that are dangerous. Let's drop a lot of these useless ones. I'm even going to drop the Wand of Disintegration. I don't perceive myself as ever really needing that anymore. Cloak of Poison Resist can go. It's more utility than the Cloak of Darkness, so that can go. And I actually don't like this -3 cloak, so that can go. I never use Scrolls of Fog, so that can go. Is there any armor I can enchant that I'm wearing? If so, let's enchant it, because why the hell not? Oh! I have a potion of experience. Let's drink some blood so that I can make use of it. Oh, I don't need blood to make use of it. Whatever. I did. Turning off fighting, put it all in invocations. Because invocations actually, at least as of version 0.9, I can't speak to the latest version, it only works every 4th number. So, training invocations up to from 12 to 13 or 12 to 14 doesn't do anything. You need to get it from 12 to 16 in order to start seeing returns on investment. Which is irritating. I mean, I'm pretty sure that version 0.10 like added the whole decimal level system. Yeah, that was definitely a plus change. That's one of the few changes which I really applaud the addition of. Let's pick up this book before reading it my foot. We can lose something else, maybe? No, not really. Nothing here that we need to lose, and nothing here that we need to gain, so down we go. There should be a button for getting rid of all of your own summons. And I'll clutter the screen. Ooh, an unidentified rod. Not that I'm ever going to use it, but, you know, un-ID'd. Yay. Now let's drop the rod. Okay. Very thirsty is good. No, it's not. I want to be thirstier than that. Near bloodless is perfect. 1 level of resistible, short of a full set. Let's do the set. So, swiftness check, and ooh, what's that cloak? Oh, that's the cloak I dropped. Okay. Swiftness check. Deflect missiles, fly. I guess that's it. So, haste. And mana back, and in we go. And start summoning dragons. Okay, do I have Mephitic Cloud? So this is one of the only times in the endgame I'm actually going to use this spell, because that could make this fight, which is already fairly simple, simpler. I have very rarely seen dwarfs, and certainly never seen multiple dwarfs at the same time, so I gotta say, fighting a bunch of deep dwarfs and ordinary dwarfs is kind of cool. But at the end of the day, they're freaking dwarfs. I give them less credit than I would give elves at this stage of the game. Yeah, and they're necromantically raising their corpses, but you know how little that scares me? None. If anything, that just means I get to double kill them and get even more experience. So, buoy for them. Yeah, buoy for them. Okay, one of them has managed to get to melee range with me, so I am going to back off, and make sure that I maintain enough mana to do a summon. I think that I may have suffered an abjure or something based on the numbers of dragons I'm seeing and how it looks like it's dwindling. But ultimately, I'm going to get through this fight with 0 damage. If anything, my HP has gone up. My max HP has gone up to 204, which is kind of awesome. Stepping forward. And let's go ahead and rehaste. No, don't stack rehasting without good cause. There's no good cause. You know what? It isn't that my numbers dwindled because of a single abjure. It's just that there were that freaking many dwarfs that attrition is playing a role here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and... There we go. A bunch of dwarfs bit the bucket. Bit the bullet. Don't bite the bucket. Kick the bucket, bite the bullet. That's the one. Okay, mana is back up. Still taking 0 damage, and it looks like that's the winning of the fight. Almost. Go kill him. But yeah, just look at the number of corpses here. That was a very brutal fight. If these had been harder to fight creatures, or they had an unsummon on them, this would have been like one of those situations where I'm just desperately trying to retreat. And if instead of... Oh, crap, there's another one. And if instead of that, are there any corpses left at all? If instead of that, they had, you know, just control blink was limited on this floor, and a couple fast on summoners, you understand how I would have been overwhelmed very quickly. That's part of why I feel like there's a risk-reward that comes into play being in a ziggurat. It's one of the fastest ways to get good loot in the game, much better than a treasure trove, but there's that side effect of you might die, and yeah. Okay, hang on here a second. So if I use the Sword of the Tormentor and switch my regen, which I don't actually get a benefit off of unless I'm bloodless, with resist fire, resist cold, perfect resistances. And that's without having to go completely bloodless. Yeah. I'm missing resist elect, actually, but whatever. Okay, I'm beyond the 15th floor like I said I would go to, so... Oh, new amulet. Inaccuracy, hunger, blink, resist poison, resist cold, resist necro. Not that valuable, but I will hang on to it, because why the fuck not? You know, I honestly don't need to identify any of these. I'm going to drop the Ring of Resist Fire, because it's inadequate. And drop all of these useless wands that I've accumulated. Hang on to the extra wand of Teleport, because why not? That's a potion of Restore... No, it's a potion of Cure Mutation. Oh, that's also good. Dropping the... dropping nothing. Dropping nothing. Yeah, that's all good. Okie dokie. So, final review. I came in here with virtually no artifact armor or fancy armors, and I'm leaving with the +3 Steam Dragon armor, which is great. A bunch of experience potions I've quaffed, which is also great. Boots of Running I think I had coming in, I'm not sure, but whatever, either way. A few options for a cloak, and I finally went with this magic resist bonus one, which is, you know, solid. So all in all, nice, good haul. This was a good run. I don't know if inaccuracy applies to, yeah, it applies to spells, so I'm not going to willingly wear that, most likely. Like, ever. I'm not even sure that I'll hang on to it long term. I'll probably ditch it if there's ever anything else I want. But yeah, I'm satisfied that I have advanced enough. I have full resistances. I don't need to be here anymore, so I'm getting back to the dungeon. By which I mean back to the ziggurats. This is the next most irritating part of being in the, not ziggurats, sorry, Pandemonium. The next most irritating parts of being in Pandemonium is trying to get out of Pandemonium. Okay, I'm in trouble because I wasn't bloodless and that torment hit like a truck. So rather than going bloodless, I'm gonna go unbloodless, drink a potion of heal my ass, put on regeneration for a little while. That should drop my cold resistance down significantly, and just gain back a bunch of health. Almost devoid of blood. Almost devoid of blood. There we go. Maxed out. Good. Now let's go back to being caster mode. So, resist fire, resist cold, one of each. And let's go ahead and get a massive dragon army around me so that that shit doesn't happen again. Okay. For the sake of speeding things up, because again, this is the attitude you get when you're in the post-endgame. At least I get, and after having been in the post-endgame for a little while, I've begun to realize is valid. I'm going to turn off auto pickup because there's no need for it anymore. If there's anything valuable, I'll hopefully stop and notice it myself. But there's really no items that I anticipate I need, and I really need to go bloodless soon. So I'm going to like rapid cast my most hungering spells and channel mana back just to try and force that hunger on a little bit sooner. Because one more torment would just knock my health in half, and I'd really rather have the torment immunity than the occasional regeneration. Come on, good God, you're a resilient motherfucking vampire, aren't you? Cast iron stomach. See, gold is never a bad thing to pick up, and it's the one thing that the auto pickup being off will deny you because you're not going to pick up the random. There we go, bloodless. You're not going to pick up the random 30 gold pieces here and there that litters the entire dungeon. But seriously, that's a minor inconvenience compared to, say, having to stop and evaluate every goddamn wand and ring you come across. When, let's face it, I have 3 wands of teleport and a wand of healing. I'm fine for wands. Evaluating every book, I've seen every spell in the game. Pretty much, if not literally. And not even because of Sif Muna anymore. Don't get me wrong, Sif Muna is great, but I didn't need Sif Muna anymore to have seen them because, well, I've been pretty much everywhere. And yeah, while, I'm not going to say no to the 89th potion of healing, why would I ever do that? Taking the time and energy on it isn't worth it, and so auto-travel helps me ignore it. I'm actually going to pop this open and kill the Panlord that's inside. You gain a sense, that the size and type of chambers Panlord's hiding, and that this was clearly one of them. And I'll just leave my dragons to fight however much they want there. Or not. I need them. Let's move on. Come on, come on. Once the Panlord is dead, that's the most bang for your buck experience-wise you're going to get for the floor. And for all I don't need experience anymore, it is nice to have, like, the +1. The unnecessary extra +1. Maybe I just play too much D&D, and that's where that attitude comes from. Okay. Floor is mostly cleared. It's possible that, I missed one of the exits, but it's very unlikely. So let's just do this and go to the next floor. Because I've already collected all of the Pandemonium runes. There is nothing else I need to be here for. And there's plenty of other stuff that needs to get done before I win the game, so it's time to focus my energies on that. Go kill things. Oh, ow, that hurt. Cackle Demon actually managed to get a shot in on me, edgewise. Do I have Scrolls of Recharging? Oh, I don't have very many. It's a shame. I'm gonna need a few more of those eventually. Or, just escape Pandemonium and then not have to worry about it. Wand of Healing is a must-have endgame for most creatures. Even if you are, like, a normal character that can totally quaff heal wounds for full value at any time, Wand of Healing is just... Maybe it's just my imagination, but it feels like it does more healing on average than a Potion of Heal Wounds does. And it's spammable, and it doesn't disappear because of failed conservation attempts. It's just a great item. And you can your Scroll of Recharging suddenly takes on, so much value. Okay, I'm actually gonna try something a little stupid. I'm gonna clear the area, and then I'm going to intentionally walk onto this Zot trap and see if it takes me into the abyss. Because it said tear in reality, and so maybe that's what it meant. Nope, just gave me a whole bunch of mutagenic glow. And sure enough, you'll notice that my max health is decreased. Oh well, and decreased further. You can't cure glow, you just have to deal with it. Down 6 points. Let's do this, and let's get the hell out of here. Dig passageways so that my summons can attack 3-on-1. Yeah, that's with conservation, mind you, that some of my scrolls just burned up. Alrighty, yeah, I have plenty of heal wounds. Let's quaff one at half function. We good? This is just going to be where the Panlord is, so let's go ahead and get a Dragonite army up before we really start looking for trouble. Get out of the way, let the Panlord die. Oh, it's a Hellwing that can die too. It's multiple Hellwings, they can all die. In fact, let's go ahead and open a door so that I can see what's going on there. Okay, invocations just got raised. Oh, it's one short, but once it hits 16, we can turn it off again. Okay, secured. Next floor. So, I remember reading a record this guy once had, in one of the older editions, admittedly, where he had collected 200-something Pandemonium runes, 250-some Pandemonium runes, and that was back before they put a limit on demonic runes. So just about every floor would have one. After having played, I can honestly say that this guy, maybe not my vampire because, he's got the whole do not regenerate when bloodless problem going, but any necromutating race, which is most of them, yeah, they could potentially subsist in Pandemonium forever and not even come close to worrying about dying. The real question would be how bored you got. Writing an AI script for Crawl seems to be an incredibly challenging task. Writing an AI script that can successfully scum Pandemonium forever doesn't seem as challenging. Oh, yay! I found a doorway out of here. I don't think there's any need for the entourage, but I'm taking it. And that's that. Successfully entered and got out of Pandemonium alive. I wouldn't go with alive and well, but certainly alive. We have some coag blood, so let's go ahead and drink that. And, get my HP back. There we go. And now that I'm at full HP, let's drink heal wounds to get rid of the max HP loss. Okay, I guess it's going to take 3 of them. No, I'll use 2 potions of healing as well. There we go. Okay. Max HP is back to full. I didn't have to burn 5 potions of healing there. I really didn't. But at the same time, if I do a search for a heal, you'll find that there's an extra 13 potions lying around the dungeon, give or take a few. So, not exactly a most valued commodity. Recharging is more important to me. Do I have any of those left? Recharging. I do in the... well, yeah, actually, why not? Let's go there. Let's go there. Oh, you didn't. Yes, you did. I should actually like to try to get Freezing Cloud if I can, too. We'll see about that later. Okay, so that's good. It's good. What was I just thinking? Oh, yeah, I actually want to use one of the ones I have on my wand because it's not full at all. At least one of my dragons can see them, thank God. So let's just, let them do their thing. Pick up another scroll of heal wounds, or of regenerating. Recharging, there we go. Notice how the auto pickup being off means I didn't even attempt to pick up anything else. Which, while marginally doesn't really matter because, well, none of it was worth picking up. Okay, good. So much for the pan runes. Next trip will be to the crypt, and from the crypt we will enter the tomb. I actually don't know how far into the tomb I've gone. Have I actually entered the tomb at all? I have. I've gone past the first floor, so let's totally go into the tomb again. And actually, by the looks of it, I got all the way to this doorway, did some funneling, and then decided it was too dangerous to keep pushing. And there's a mummy sorcerer to remind me of why it was probably too dangerous to keep pushing. Or mummy priest. Yeah, notice that in that short span of time, my health went down 20. I don't know what he hit me with, but whatever it was probably smiting. What I'm gonna do is just do some damage while bloodless, and then leave to regenerate. So here, notice that I filled the entire hallway with dragons. It's physically packed. My goal is going to be to get whatever's down here to follow me up. It's not going to happen because what's there is, you know, hiding. So let's do that, and let's go up. Now it knows I'm there. Hopefully it'll move closer to the stairway. It did, but not close enough. Let's damage it, and then let's get out of the way again. Okay. Mummies are still good. Let's put on speed and deflect missiles just in case, and then let's go back down. Not hasting still. God damn smiting. I'm gonna totally just stand here for a little bit. They're not dealing enough damage for me to be that concerned. I'm gonna heal for this next turn so that they get closer to me, and then I'm gonna go upstairs with both of them next to me. Okay, with one of them next to me. I'll take what I can get. Notice that the mummy is totally right here. I'm going to blink. That wasn't blinking. Why are you not listening to me? Z, G. Okay, they're not allowing me to blink because I'm so totally surrounded. This is the first time I've ever actually had that happen. So that sucks, but I didn't lose any health for it really, so worse things could have happened to me. It helps that he was surrounded by an army of dragons. Let's go ahead and bring the next one up. We're gonna have to abjure here because these are all summons. Okay. And we're just gonna kill this guy straight up by the looks of it, so let's let him finish the job. Abjure the summon. And we have cleared the doorway. Removing the do not enter sign, and yeah. Again, I have enough money that I can buy the entrance to a ziggurat if I want, but I also have, you know, that I left a ziggurat because I didn't need to be there. So really, what am I saving money for anymore? There isn't a whole lot of stores I anticipate. Most of the good stores you get in the game are going to be in the bottom of the Orcish mines. Let's do this offensive recall and then get out. Okay. Pick up potion of gain dexterity for when I'm not bloodless. Can totally use that. You know, I've gone whole games without seeing any of those, so it's kind of awesome that I've gotten so many this game. Ah! Kill the mummies and leave me the fuck out of it. Okay. I took minimal damage, which is good, because, see, this is one of the issues with playing mummy versus playing vampire versus playing mummy. As a vampire, I wouldn't have had to worry about taking 1 or 2 damage here or there. Or as a mummy, I wouldn't have had to worry about taking 1 or 2 damage here or there. Hell, I'd probably be wearing a couple rings of regeneration so that I'm gaining back health rapidly. As a vampire, being bloodless means I'm getting no health back, so every hit is permanent. You definitely won't fly here. Definitely won't fly. Okay, this looks like another dead end, so let's teleport out. Statistically speaking, I'm most likely going to go to a safe spot. Scroll of Acquirement, there's no point waiting on it. Let's go with Armor, because it's the only thing that has a chance of being useful. Ruined Large Shield, Cold Resistance, I don't need Cold Resistance. But large shield is an upgrade, and what does it do to my spell casting? Summon Dragon has gone down to poor, which is not acceptable, so we're totally going to, go back to using ordinary shield of protection. However, now we have an incentive to train shield. I think if we jump shield all the way to 27 or so, or 25, we can use a large shield without penalty. And that would be badass. So totally gonna try for that. Shields of 28 is actually very reasonable. I don't need a better shield. I really was hoping for a more enchanted shield, and 1 level of cold resist means almost nothing to me, as you can tell. If anything, the AC bonus from the scroll of from the shield of protection, if that's what this is a shield of protection, right? Yeah, it is more valuable, but whatever. There's a reason I'm blowing scrolls of requirement at this point, and that's that. Again, I have everything I need, and if anything, just more defense is always good, because that's ultimately what's going to save your life in a pinch. You get smite targeted by Hellfire twice, and you manage to block it once. Well, that once that you got blocked, yeah, that saved your life. Okay, definitely not seeing the way out. Maybe I missed it, so... Oh, I did miss it. It was literally right there this whole time. This is a really, really lousy place to be. Going up here with just these one is irritating, but coming back down and bringing these guys with makes sense. And that's what I'm going to do. I did take a hit, but it was literally a singular hit. So let's go ahead and heal up to a reasonable level again. I'm really taxing the scroll of regen that I used. It's already used up. If I thought that I could get scrolls of regen via acquirement, I totally would burn acquirement on wands, but my odds of getting an extra scroll of... or not wands, on scrolls, but the odds of that happening are so low that I'd rather not, waste it. Actually, blowing it on wands and hoping for an extra wand of healing does kind of have a bizarre sense to it. So watch what I'm going to do here. Watch. Max out my dragons, right? And then recall here so that they peek around the corner for me, and then tell them to wander so that they get the initiate on whatever would have been in that minion hallway. That's how I have discovered doing this is best. Of course, it looks like it's unnecessary, so... yeah, let's just do that. Often you don't have to play slow and steady. You can get away with playing a little bit faster, but, I like to at least demonstrate what the best way to play is. Or at least the best way I know how to play. I'm not going to say what's best. So I've had it pointed out that I misspelled Shinegami. It's actually spelled with an I, Shinigami, for Death God, in Japanese. And hilariously, my friend from Japan, one whom I did the dual commentary with, he, and I looked it up and, tried to find, what, if anything, Shinigami would mean. It's not a real word, it doesn't mean anything really in Japanese, but there is a possible use for the character, or a possible reading for the character, and here I reveal my ignorance. I don't really know a lot about how Japanese and katakana or whatever works, but apparently it means potted rice plant. Or it can mean die! Not actually pronounced, but that kind of, saying die with that kind of meaning. So, yeah. The potted rice plant of death. That is what my vampire is. Okay, looking good. I consider the tomb to be more situationally dangerous for a pure summoner than the hells, and I consider the fiery hell to be the singular most dangerous place in the game. You can always get unlucky with a pandemonium, or not pandemonium, a ziggurat area, but ultimately, yeah, this is the most consistently dangerous spot. Also, I'm about to, I took 50% damage there from a couple smites. Not 50% damage, I took extra damage up to the 50% mark from a couple smites, so I am not going to push into the bottom floor with half health. I am going to try to clear my way to the bottom floor for next time, but I'm going to go back and heal up after this. Oh, you poor soul, you summoned 2 creatures, and I summoned freaking armada. Okay, it is done. Actually, you know what I can do? Do I have scrolls of teleport to burn? I have lots of them. I'm going to do a random teleport, because statistically, it's going to get me to not need to go through Tomb 2. Well, I guess I was wrong, so here we go. Through Tomb 2, through Tomb 1. Okay. Off we go. Here's the elect that I forgot. I guess the orcish mines will probably have live corpses that I can drain for health, and that's ultimately going to be the fastest or the most efficient way to heal, since I really only have like 1 or 2 scrolls of recharging total left. Or you know, they could drop an elf on me, but he didn't have any blood. He didn't leave a corpse, I should say. Okay. Looks like this is a left untapped on purpose area, so let's take a look. Sure enough, there's a corpse. There's a corpse. Let's drink it direct. And actually, rather than leaving the area, let's just see how much health I get back and if it's enough. Or, you know, get another couple corpses and make sure it's enough. That works too. Oh, come on, nothing to drain? Seriously? I bet the hungry ghost ate one of them. He can actually do that too. Okay, back to the tomb, and I'm going to make an attempt to clear the tomb, and if I succeed in that or fail in that, either way, that's when I'm going to stop playing, because my time just ran out for today, and kinda, yeah, gotta stop at that point. So down a floor, then up a floor, only to go down a floor. And this right here is the most dangerous place in the entire game. Consistently dangerous place in the entire game, in my opinion. Except maybe certain setups in is it Gehenna? That's the fiery hell? Gehenna? That one. So, because firstly, you can only bring so few summons in with you, so you've got virtually no guarantees. There's no control teleport, so yeah, and if they crowd the entrance, which they inevitably will when you retreat, you're fucked. So, haste, swift, fly. Do I have a potion of invisibility? That wouldn't be a bad shot either, but I'm actually practically invisible, right? Extraordinarily resistant and uncannily stealthy. Yeah, that's good. Okay. In we go. Oh, I made a mistake. I thought this was the bottom floor. It was not. There's in fact another layer of the second floor that I need to get through first. Sorry for all the anticipation and the false and denied hopes. Good lord. Here's the doors to go downstairs. And mercifully, they are allowing me 5 summons instead of just 1, which is actually a huge improvement. Let's clear this area in case I retreat. I don't want to retreat into a death trap. Even I don't want to retreat and then just get smitten and die, so that's why I'm clearing the area. So that I have a safe retreat. Oh, wow. That's a boatload of stuff. Okay, there we go. Allies on me, I'm down 10 health, so I actually will burn a potion of healing just to give myself a pittance of extra health back. Deflect missiles is a definite yes. Self-fly is an okay. Self-hasting, yeah, why the hell not? Let's go whole hog. Into the dungeon. Don't tell them who to attack. I'll leave that to them to figure out. I need to summon more and more and more and more. I need to be summoning more rapidly, actually, so I'm going to forego the channeling mana part of my macro and just focus on getting dragons out, and then summon back only after I've done that. Do I have a potion of magic? I have several. Now would be a good time to burn those. Because even though it looks like I'm winning this easily, and I kind of am, this is actually a less offensive setup than I've seen before. There's greater mummies behind these mummies, and just one of them casting a abjuration is going to completely skullfuck my entire army. Not to mention that they're taking compounded death curses right now. Okay, I will quaff another potion of magic, again, just for the thoroughness' sake. I'm not going to do another one after this one, though. I am going to try to save something for later. For God's sake, I don't want to pick your targets for you, but you should pick targets. Don't stay here by me. Though it will be helpful to have a few extra dragons if they get unsummoned, but whatever. Kill the bastard. Okay. We got lucky. They didn't cast unsummon, and if they did, it wasn't successful. So it looks like we win this fight completely. Let's go ahead and just do this, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of this. Get some mana back in here. Okay, and look, all of a sudden they're tipping the scales, so let's do a abjure of my own and focus down their real guys. This doesn't look like an abjure turnaround. This looks like a they did summons of their own, which distracted my guys situation. Definitely want another abjure to just thin out the fluff so that we keep hitting the real creatures that are beneath it all. Okay. Victory is ours. I most likely will not like this, but let's see what they got. Yeah, that's a useless piece of shit. Okay, examining the chamber. Ching. And it looks like they're really sore losers because they're still sending more at me. Of course, I say that just as I'm taking 50% of my life, 50 health damage, so, you know, gotta be careful. A quarter of my life was damage. But yeah, at this point we've gotten past the hard part. We've won the fight. I have a foothold. For anybody else who saw this and it was kind of like, oh, that was easy. Okay, yeah, good. Glad you think so. I recommend strongly you take just as aggressive an approach as I did to making damn sure that you have a good flow of summons that's greater than theirs, and that you always leave yourself as much room to retreat as I did, because, well, that's the reason it was so easy, because I didn't need to use those. Trade one useless helmet for another, and drop any books I picked up. I'm not actually even going to humor them enough to read the damn books anymore. Rings are different. Rings can always potentially be cool. Not this one though. Costs me a level of fire resist. Not interested. Wizardry, but denies you teleportation. Again, not interested. Strength plus, dex plus. Mezzo. Drop the books, grab the gold. Okay, off we go. There was no scrolls of recharging, which is really the prize that I would most treasure right now. That, or, you know, an extra wand of healing, which is similar logic, similar styled. There's the rune that I need. There's the gold dragon armor that I'm not going to use, because it's like wearing a super version of plate mail, and is well beyond a caster's ability to field. Notice that my shield skill is actually slowly increasing. It was at 30 at one point, now it's at 31. Okay. Ching. Drop the book. And that's that. This chamber is secured. Yeah, just gonna teleport. Because you know how it's an in and out, in and out, in and out thing? Well, just teleporting to here saves me a lot of trips. Ding, Ching, 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 ching. Oh, it's a well-timed centaur. Because I really wanted just what he had to offer. Blood. And the reason I drank both was so that I can make use of the gain dexterity, which I just did. Boosting my dex to 5. Okay, I'll just go ahead and recover health before I quit out, and do that. And that's that. My rune count increases by 1. I got the golden rune. So, next vid, we are going to have to make our approach to hell. Hope you all enjoyed watching. Once again, please remember, if you're liking the vids, subscribe, tell the people. I always love to grow my audience a little bit. It's a wonderful thing to do. It's always great to have that support. And it's cool to finally have some post-endgame vids of Crawl up on YouTube. Separate from that, please do comment on the dual commentary vid and let me know what your thoughts are for doing Drainstorm as a vid series. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all next time.